So the next method is the quadrat method, which students might be familiar with from their curriculum. Again, it's quite a simple method. The basic idea is that you have a quadrat. We've got a square quadrat. Your quadrat can actually be many different shapes. You can have rectangular quadrats, you've got long quadrats. Some people do circular quadrats, but the classic is a square, so that's what we've got. And essentially it's a way of subsampling your site. So you can randomly place quadrats across your survey area. And essentially how that works is you have two tape measures and you make a grid on the ground, and then you choose random XY coordinates, and then you walk over to those coordinates and place down your quadrat, and you repeat that however many times you need to sample your site for. And getting random numbers is generally quite simple. There's a lot of apps out there which are free, which will give you random numbers. So it's generally best practice not to just pull a number from thin air by yourself, because you might think they're random, but often they're not quite as random as we'd like them to be. Have a look at what's inside each quadrat, and it should give you an idea of species richness, so what's around, and species abundance, so how much there is of each species. Assuming that species are distributed quite evenly across your area, you can generally just multiply up from the proportion of ground you've covered with your quadrats up to the size of a whole site that you're working with. So this is quite a basic quadrat. You can get quadrats with internal divisions, so they just have more lines going like that. They have an internal grid. Those are very good if you want to estimate percentage cover. So say you're looking at grass, you probably don't want to be counting every individual blade of grass. You might just want to say 50% of a quadrat is covered in grass, and having an internal grid for that is very useful. But the quadrat we have right now is not going to be as useful for that sort of thing. You can estimate percentage cover still, but we're more looking at species richness, so what's actually in the quadrat, and potentially counting large species like flowering plants other than grass.